Ian, lots of bad news, tumultuous couple of weeks for the fighting game community and the Smash Brothers community.
Jesus Christ, it's been a bad couple of weeks just in general in terms of online communities, and with video games when it comes to sexual assault. A couple of weeks ago I mentioned the allegations that were brought up against numerous people at Ubisoft. I think there was at least 3. And then there was problems in the Pokemon community with it. And now, I mean, it's like every other day something is blowing up. So the big ones that happened, this past week were the cancellation of EVO, probably the biggest fighting game tournament out there, because Joey Cuellar, Mr. Wizard,
former CEO,
was faced with credible allegations of, Jesus Christ, fucking around with small boys. So that's great.
So then the companies, they don't like the fighting games. Company said we're going to publish. So we're not going to have our games there. We're going to
like immediately,
which is good. They're like, this is ridiculous.
Yes, it is good. Yeah, we can't. And it's like I said, it's worth mentioning that this has been a larger problem in the past couple of months outside of just fighting games, because these companies are reacting swiftly and quickly. Now there's no ifs, ands, or buts. So EVO was saddled with problems earlier this year because of COVID. They had to move online, and then with these allegations, all these companies were like, nope, pulled it out, and EVO's not happening this year. I honestly don't know what's going to happen with the future of EVO. I guess if I had an opinion, it would probably be best for it to rebrand and move forward as something else if it can.
Well, it's a big company, obviously. I mean, I guess they could.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a gap. I mean, this is a gap year anyway with everything with going on with COVID. So maybe they just try to say, okay, well, next year we'll come back and we'll obviously try to do better. I mean, it's a CEO of a company doing heinous things with children.
It's.
Oh God,
it's awful. And I don't really even want to get into the actual allegations because it's fucking gross.
But it's from all credible sources. This seems like likely this stuff happened.
And then the Smash Brothers community is just
burn it to the ground.
Yeah, burn it. Holy shit. I mean, so the amount of sexual allegations and non-sexual allegations brought against various members of the Smash Brothers community is humongous. There is a Reddit page dedicated to detailing this currently, and it's a goddamn spreadsheet. And there are, I can't even begin to give you a rough estimate of how
dozens.
Many people.
It's like 100.
It's dozens, yes. And it's the alleged offender. Then there is a column with links to the claims, and then links to, the statements from the offenders if they replied.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like it was a fucking shit show with no adults in the room and everyone just acting fucking gross.
Well, some of the adults are the ones doing some of this heinous stuff. I mean,
well, yes. I mean, I'm sorry. In a situation like this, I've got to be more careful with what I'm saying. I mean, the proverbial adult in the room.
Yes. You have an environment. You have a game that a lot of kids, preteens, teens are fans of, young adults, and no one stepping in and saying, well, maybe we should make sure bad shit doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's like there. Not that you always want to think that stuff won't happen, but you have to expect the worst when you have a lot of people that come together, especially younger people that maybe they're not used to social interaction, or maybe some of these people use this environment just for predatory action. Some people join these communities. We heard about it, I think, in Minecraft years back, that there's a lot of bad people that got in there just to prey on kids. Like you hear about this stuff. It's unfortunate, but there are sickos out there. There are.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these hobbies are so popular because they appeal to such a wide range of people in terms of ages and demographics and things like that. But yeah, you have to be careful of predators infiltrating it. Those
Danger.
Those are ripe grounds for fucking, very bad things to happen.
Yeah,
if people aren't paying attention.
Yeah, you have a mixture of 12-year-olds talking to 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, people in their 20s, and then like I'm seeing videos. There was the only one I'll reference directly is because the one that came to my attention was the Sin Pi one, the allegations, and you literally see her with the boy, the underage boy, like holding them and like it's on the video, it's on the stream of them doing the competition. You see it's right there, and the first thing I think about is, like there's literally no adults in the room. Like they're all just the people in the fighting tournament, and the average age of everyone in that room was probably like 17, 18. Like that's probably the average age in that room. So I'm thinking, okay, now this stuff is happening when people are traveling. They're staying in hotel rooms. Now I'm going to like chaperone mode where there's no one watching these kids at a lot of these events. So this is obviously you don't ever blame the victim when it comes to these things. You have to hold accountable some of the organizers of these events. They have to be held accountable for some of this. You have to watch what the hell's going on under your roof. You have to realize this stuff can happen. And I hate to think that there had to have been people that knew some of this bad shit was happening. There's too many stories. There's too many.
Yeah, to not catch wind of something, I feel like
even if half of these aren't true, these allegations, there's still a ton on this Reddit list, and this won't even probably be all of them. These are just the ones that they they have the past couple weeks. The other major one was I talked about with you on the phone was this Sky Williams having a house full of Smash players, and it sounded like a house of debauchery because there's allegations against like 10 different people at least that were at this guy's house. So what does he know what's going on? Is he paying attention? He's responsible in some part if this bad shit happens. I'm glad Nintendo is not involved officially with this shit.
Yeah, in what you say, there's a lot to it. If you're going to provide an environment for people to come together, then it's there is responsibility on your half to make sure that is a safe environment.
Yeah, and it wasn't. Nintendo actually put out a statement, but it was just like we were aware of the stuff going on, and but obviously they have not connected to any of this directly. They don't officially sponsor this shit, these tournaments and things like that. And now you know why, because they don't have Nintendo doesn't want to be involved with this shit they can't control, or like it's too risky. And yeah, I don't know like how something like a community like this could even move forward. I don't know. There was tons of people doing videos, big Smash community people on YouTube, and I don't know what you say. I don't know what you say. This is a systematic failure of everyone when it comes down to it. I mean, it's disgusting. That's the best thing you can say. I mean, when you literally go on Reddit and you see you can't keep track of all the allegations, and then it's like the responses from the people of the alleged offender and the claims. I mean, it's tons of fucking people. It's nauseating. Yeah. You don't even I don't want to read the stories.
No, I mean, and I did read some of them. Obviously, you can't just run and hide from it. But after a certain point, you're reading this, and this might sound wrong, but you're reading so much of it, and you're just like, okay, no, I believe this 100%. This occurred, but
some of the people have admitted it. ESPN did an article on one of them. Former Smash Pro Zero, which I think we talked about last year, admits to sending suggested messages to minors. ESPN's running the article under their esports section, and he's one of the biggest players.
Yeah, a lot of it's not just allegations. A lot of it is, if you go through, it looks like they admit it after the fact. That's the thing. Like, you can't even just say it's just because a lot of people do. A lot of people like to be like, oh, it's just allegations. It's like, no, they're admitting to it.
Sure, or at least admitting something happened, but legally, I don't want to admit everything.
Right.
Then I get then I open myself up to legal prosecution.
Yeah, like here's one. Like, I mean, I'm scrolling down, and it's just like, no story, just a confession. Okay. Yeah.
Burn it to the ground. That's what, like, it's when with the Evo thing, it's obviously the guy at the head, but this is like these are like big players, and these are people that are in the community. The community is the foundation's rotten.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, and I don't know why this would be more rotten than the other ones. Maybe because it's Nintendo and it's more of a kiddie game. I have no idea. But this is the big, out of all the fighting game stuff. This is the biggest one that we've seen was a Smash Brothers community. It's just fucking disgusting.
well, and I mean, I don't pay too much attention to it, but it seems like the Smash Brothers community, at least I know, the few people I know that have played, are constantly trying to fight against the image that the Smash Brothers community is toxic.
Well, too late.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to, be the person who just says it is, but that was always my impression of it, and everyone I talked to was always like, no, yeah, it's as bad as it sounds.
No, we did stories about how toxic they were against competitors against each other, and how their cliques and shaming people, and jealousy. But this is way beyond professional jealousy. This is criminal behavior. This is ruining people's lives. Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, I don't know what to say. If I'm glad, I'm just glad Nintendo is not officially involved with any of this fucking shit. That you can't put it back on them at all. They stay away from this. They put out their little saying, yeah, we condemn these actions of these people, which they shouldn't. That's about it.
I feel bad for the victims, and I hope they get any help that they need. And that goes for any accusation of sexual harassment that's been going around lately. But the Smash Brothers, and especially seeing how young some of these kids were, it's like they're gonna need some help, I think, to get past a lot of this.
Sure.